It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
HBO to the max.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Peter Clay is here today.
Holy crap, it's Peter.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fascinating, interesting, and exciting edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay, with you as always to share with you how I accomplish this stuff called streaming. And the device I prefer to use is the Roku. But as times go on and new things come out, sometimes you have to stretch your imagination a little bit. And we'll talk about that a little bit in this program here. But so, as the disclosure goes, this is a me show. This is about what I do. Don't worry about anything else that's going on or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I do, and hopefully that sparks some interest in you and helps you to move forward with how you want to accomplish your streaming or Roku or anything along those lines. There's plenty of other things out there. There's cord killers. There's cord cutters. They don't have a podcast anymore, and they've switched hosts and all that stuff on their YouTube page and all that stuff. But hey, they're still out there. And another one I discovered was the Streaming Wars. And they take a different a couple of dudes getting in there and talking about things. And they talk about the big eight, Netflix, Hulu, or Netflix, Disney, the parent companies, AT&T, Warner, all these guys going at it, going to war, and who's going to come out the end of it. And that's fascinating and a pretty good show. But in my case here, I just tell you what I do. Because, as a matter of fact, if all those things blew up and couldn't handle it anymore, I find that I can live without all those things. There's plenty of out there on your Roku that you can go down a rabbit hole and you'll be fine forever. If CBS and Viacom, if that didn't work out and they had to close All Access or Pluto or anything like that, there's more out there. Universal, NBC's next. They have a wonderful, fine app in NBC. It's a fine program. But no, they got to get along with the Joneses here, get in there, and they're going to come out with Peacock. So it's already out on their own Comcast networks, Xfinity, and it'll come out to the masses in just 1 month. And we have a big debut coming out this week. We'll talk about it on the show and other things and news and notes as well. So, as you can tell, you can do the big eight if you want, or you can drop Netflix, drop it all. And we'll discuss it here. So we got plenty to discuss. So let's get started.
Shine on.
Okay, we're back here on Me and My Roku. I may sound a little different today, and the podcast might sound a little different. I picked the wrong day to somehow update my computer. It's a Mac, and so I thought, while I went for a walk this morning, I thought I'd take a nice leisurely walk to the Quickie Mart and get some stuff and come back and think about how I'm going to prepare for the show and all that stuff. That by the time I came back, the update would be done and all that stuff, and it's not so. But the show must go on, so I'm in the office as I normally am. I'm just doing the setup just a little bit, and then in post-production it's going to be a little different. So it's going to sound the same, but different. So there. Anyway, we got lots to talk about here. Hulu is doing a complete user interface change, a little upgrade, a little cleanup, and a little things like that. And then as I was going through some of the forums and some of the questions and sorting out the emails and all that stuff, I was getting some panic that Hulu was going to be taking off their Rokus. And so I said, well, oh my goodness, here we go again, because we had some things with Fox Sports and all these different things last year, people doing negotiations like, wow, Disney and Roku going to go at each other? No, it's the same issue that we had last year with Netflix and MLB TV and all these other different issues, saying if you have an older Roku, once they complete the update, the classic app will be discontinued and will not work on older Rokus. So it's not anything that we haven't seen before. Like I said, Netflix did this last December and all that stuff. So it's a typical thing where I know in these uncertain times, it may be hard to think about an upgrade to your hardware right now, but if you can afford Netflix or Hulu or anything like that, you can get Roku Express. They're on sale right now, $24. Another actually thing you can do is on your Roku yourself, on the main menu, just above where it says streaming channels, or just above settings actually, it'll say offers and things, and they'll tell you what you're eligible to upgrade to, and they'll give you a special deal on that, either through Roku, and then or you can go to whatever shopping service you prefer. So I've used Walmart and I've used Amazon in the past. Whatever I can get a gift card on, that usually is how I do it here on me and my Roku. So make sure, $25. Typically Roku Express, if you've got an older like Roku 2 or like I've got a Roku LT, it's telling me to get a Roku Express. It's basically the same model. So they'll help it. Now they'll also try and upgrade you to the soundbar. But I've seen it cheaper before and all that stuff, that they're not giving me a discounted price on that right now. That's a shame. But anyway, it's time. I know it's uncertain times, but you'll feel better even with a $25 Roku Express, getting that latest hardware to watch all your channels on your Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Oh, not at the promo yet, but we'll get there. We had a new entrant into the Streamerverse this week. We've all been anticipating. Kind of shook the world a little bit. We're all excited. We all get going. And then, then we moved on with life, kind of, sort of. HBO Max is here. We've been all waiting and expecting it. And you would think AT&T and Warner and all that stuff, having announced this a year ago and having months to go, that they got all their ducks in a row, everything's ready to go, and so when you launch, it's ready to go on your Roku. And no. So I didn't have this much anticipation for it was going to have a get up and a little celebration party. Got up really early, ready to go. Got my coffee. I was in my robe. Not that you need to know that. And got also, and right off the bat, the signs are good. I was trying to get it through my Apple credits, and slick as snot. No issues, or the only thing that kind of confused me at first is that the HBO Max app now replaced the HBO Now. Let's not get into all the confusion of what is the difference between HBO Max and Now and Go and HBO itself and all that crap. It's just, it is what it is. So it's HBO with a whole bunch of Time Warner stuff and movies and all that other stuff. So I get that. So I get my account set up. I got a 7-day free trial and enough credits to cover it for the month if I wish. So I'm good to go. And then I run right to my Roku, and I can't find the app anywhere. Oh no. So then I look around and find out, okay, no Amazon, no Roku. Android TV, iOS, Apple TV, Microsoft, whatever their game player is. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But anyway, so about 2/3 of it. So the first thought that came to my mind was the only time I had this much anticipation, just to see what it's all about, was when Disney Plus came out. I got all excited. I got up first thing in the morning. I got my Apple credits. I had my coffee and my robe. Not that you need to know that. And everything worked. I got the free credits right away, the free trial, credits for the next month if I like it, and went right to my Roku, and boom. And I thought to myself then, what if Disney Plus, which there was so much anticipation and all that stuff, wasn't on Amazon or Roku? Now, if I recall correctly, it took about a week or two to come on Amazon, but neither here nor there. It eventually came on there, and everything was good with the world. And so 100% compliance with Disney Plus. So what is the deal with AT&T and Roku? Now, there had been some problems. The AT&T Now, which used to be DirecTV Now app, was taken off, but then came back on. So you're thinking, okay, we're friends again. There's going to be no problems. So who's to blame here, Roku or AT&T Warner? I can't imagine. Like I say, you've made this announcement, and you don't have your ducks in a row here. How can you not be on the two biggest selling streams that there are? Yes, you're on Android. Yes, you can get it on your phone like Quibi and all that stuff. So, anyway, there you have it. My thing about it is AT&T has got to be on the ball here. You don't go into this and say, don't worry about that. We can't get a deal? Then no. There's a thing in game theory that says that something is better than nothing. Okay? I deal with this in video poker all the time. Well, I've got 3 of a kind right now. I'm going to get paid, but I got a chance at a royal flush. Oh my God. You take the something. Something is better than nothing. And if it was right now a bad deal gets your foot in the door, and then you can say how popular. You can see the numbers to say, hey, we're making you money. You can renegotiate that. You can't negotiate with nothing. It says, oh, you're struggling. Oh, now you want to be on the Roku? Oh. Anyway, long story short, HBO Max is a fine service. There's plenty of there to go down a rabbit hole, and worth the somewhat twice as much as Disney Plus is. There's a lot of stuff. There's all the HBO pretty much, and then all the Time Warner movies, but then rabbit holes of kids stuff, Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo, I'm showing my age, but plenty of other kid stuff on there, more relevance maybe to you. But then Top Gear, British stuff, Doctor Who, Coupling, a whole bunch of different stuff that you can go down around, old TV shows and then old HBO shows and all that stuff. So plenty to keep you occupied if you had to do it. And is it worth the $15? Probably, but just not on the Roku. Now, there's not a Roku app. If you have Hulu, I believe just regular Hulu, it doesn't matter, Hulu Live, or YouTube TV, which you would have to have the full boat there. You can have it as an add-on there and have to go through their interface to do that. And as you've heard me discuss in the past, trying to go through things through other interfaces isn't always hunky-dory. It's just kind of hard to find things and all that stuff. So, technically, it is available on the Roku through Hulu and YouTube TV. But as a standalone app, it is not there as of right now. But, fine service. Give it a shot if you wish. At least try the 7-day free trial if you need something else to do. There you have it. HBO Max. Technically available on your Roku. Hopefully eventually soon we'll get all squared out here on Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, now gather around. Safe distance. No hugging, no licking doorknobs, that's good right there. No, face mask not required. That's up to you. I looked at my bank account, and we're doing okay. And the program will go on as promised. We're all good. Don't worry about anything. Times are tough for everybody right now. So any support that you can give right now is going to be in the case of virtual hugs, sharing on social media, and subscribing and on your all major platforms and all that stuff, because we're available all on there. I'll discuss more about that later, and all that good stuff. So really appreciate some of the things I've done on Facebook in adding the page and getting on some of the support groups and all that stuff, getting a lot of likes and a lot of stuff like that. So if you can help spread the word, that would be fantastic. Bandwidth is provided by archive.org, and we couldn't do this show without them, and I thank them and I love them deeply. Check out some of the things that they've got going on right now. They've got going on right now the Biblioteca Nacional Aruba. The National Library of Aruba has swung into action, and the archive.org is helping out with that as part of the National Emergency Library. That happened, that kicked off with the start of the pandemic and all that stuff, and that still continues today, and it's reaching out across the world, not just here. So if that is something that you feel needs support or just a high five or anything like that, check it out today at archive.org. Check out their blog at blog.archive.org. All the other good things, you can also check out links on this podcast wherever you're getting this from. There's some specials for you on there as well that help support the program as well. Really appreciate all the love out there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Radio Affliction, and my Facebook page, facebook.com/meandmyroku, and just give us a high five there and a like there and all that stuff. Support! Please, archive.org, and check them out today at archive.org. Okay, news, notes, questions, all that good stuff here. Hulu also is adding a watch party to the updated version of Hulu when you get that, so that you can stream shows with your friends. Isn't that nice? But I guess since we're all hunkered down, I guess the way to involve engagement, do live parties, social media aspect. Plex supposedly is adding that service as well. I don't know what you'd use that for, but it might be part of the Plex Pass, but I think that's something that they're trying to give to everybody. Check out Plex if you've got that as well. Some more things on HBO Max. Also, don't forget that The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, I believe, even. Also, Friends is now home on HBO Max just as well. But I've been watching the Flintstones and all this. One thing I will say, it's the one service by using the Chromecast that actually lets you binge and goes on to the next program. I've had problems with that before. But this is a Roku show. I did have a discussion this past weekend, social distancing, at a graduation party. I met a fine young couple, and they're getting along. They got all their devices around their house in their small little apartment and all that stuff, but they have 4 of the, whatever you call these devices, the Googles and the Alexas and all that stuff. And but they were talking about getting because they were having cable, but they were cutting the cord, and they wanted to know, well, should we get a Roku TV or an Android TV? And I paused and I looked at them, and because I figured out what I did, and of course that added questions there. It used to happen when I used to work for a car rental agency. I would always then get questions like, oh, so can you get me a deal? Now I say I have this podcast, and they go, oh, well, what should I do? Should I get BritBox or Acorn? And it's like, well, find out. Those type of questions kind of bother me a little bit. I will just get a little snarky and a little sarcastic about it, because try it out. And I know you'd like some background on it, but if you like classic Doctor Who, then you go with BritBox. If you like murder mysteries like Ms. Fisher or anything like that, then you go with Acorn. So it's all up to you. You get 7 days free trial to try them all out anyway. Do 7 days with one, and then do 7 days with the other, and decide. You may or may not have time for that. I don't know, but we're in a pandemic, so it might be a good time to try some of that stuff out. But anyway, Roku TV or Android TV. And I thought about it, and I told people before, even on this program, is that regardless of what you get, if you have a smart TV, don't think that all your problems are solved or anything like that. I think you still need a Roku. If it happens to be a Roku Express or a Premier or something like that, it doesn't have to be the Ultra or anything like that. But if you get this big fancy TV and you want the best picture, then you got to go with the Ultra or the soundbar. But I leaned toward the Android TV. Not just because that's what I have, but again, for that point, it was just like, well, you want to just add the Roku. Why do you want that redundancy of having a Roku TV and a Roku device? I think, in my mind, it's part of this Me and My Roku show, is an Android TV has certain functions like Chromecast built in and all those other functions, not only just the apps and all that. Maybe they're more like to play, since they're younger, they like to play, there's more games available on the Android side of that than there are games on Roku, but I find them a little jittery and juggy, and the remote isn't always the best. But it's neither here nor there. So I recommended an Android TV with a Roku device on the side, and that would cover all of your things. One other question, it wasn't really so much of a question, it was just a comment from Steven, who said, hey, I tried the 1 month of free CBS All Access, and it was getting close to the end of it, and said, I decided, like, okay, that was good, that was a fine month, I got through everything, got through Picard, got through everything, and I'm going to cancel, and they offered him another month, and he said, sure, I'll take another month. And those are the things, like I've said before in this program, as we're now 50 episodes into this program. Wait till 3/4 of the program to get through to that point. That's right. Anyway, is that they can't miss you if you don't go away. And so, like I've said with Sling all along too, is like within 10 minutes they're back to you with other offers and all that stuff. So go away sometimes and see what they offer. So there was a thing called the Chicken Challenge. It's like you say, I'm canceling. I've had enough. I can't deal with this. I got too much going on or whatever. And they'll say, okay, well, how about if we do this? So they can't do that if you just keep on throwing cash their way every month. So if you're finding that you're on the fence on something and says, well, maybe I should let this go, maybe they'll say, well, here's an incentive, and say, you know what? I forgot what a great service you are. It's worth a shot. Doesn't always work, and if they don't, then say, you know what? Don't need it. See ya. I've had to do that 3 times with Sling, and then finally I let it go for now. When I found out that they might be the best option for NFL Red Zone if we ever have football again, then I thought, I'll probably come back. Just when it's like The Godfather 3. Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in. And that's the same with the NFL. I thought I was out. May 31st was supposed to be the end of the free preview of Game Pass, where you could get every single football game since 2010. Well, they have now extended that to July 31st. So just when I thought I could zip that out of there, I thought, oh, crap. Anyway. And now MLB TV is still giving away free games from last year, and now 2 years. You can go back to the 2018 season if you wish as well. So how about those apples? Well, I should probably get back to my Roku. I'm starting to get a little itchy, a little twitchy, a lot of things going on. I got to see if there's anything going on with HBO Max and Roku and all that stuff, but that's all right. Once again, thanks to archive.org for the bandwidth provided. Thank them for their support. Support them as well if you wish. Check them out today, archive.org. You want to get a 7-day trial of Philo, since there's no sports, unless you can count Korean baseball and all that stuff. But if you just want 60 channels for $20, try it out for 7 days. Just go to the link where you get this podcast at on all major podcast platforms. Check that out today. Also, a lot of the programming I get for free, because I get a whole bunch of gift cards. I do a bunch of things, and you can check out one of the things I do. swagbucks.radioaffliction.com is the actual website to go to on that, or just click on the link on the podcast platform as well. You can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, and Radio.com. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction, on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. Yes, Pierre Argyle. And if you want more one-on-one questions, comments, anything like that, email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. I briefly mentioned it earlier. This is the 50th episode of this show, as we celebrated a year anniversary last week, but we made it to 50, so I think in golf, when you shoot your age, that's actually a good thing. I guess when you get to your age in podcast episodes, is that the same? Anyway, okay. Anyway, thank you so much for putting up with me for 50 episodes so far. I'm going to keep going as long as I can, and because it's fun for me to do, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. And I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.